Your Honor, I am an innocent man.
The jury in the Conrad Murray manslaughter trial will have several questions to answer. One, did Dr. Murray give Michael Jackson a lethal dose of propofol? Prosecutors say there's no doubt. Murray and his attorneys say there's no way.
There's no way that Dr. Murray would pump Michael Jackson full of propofol sufficient for major surgery and walk out that room. It's not going to happen. That's not the doctor Dr. Murray is.
Murray claims the day Jackson died, he only administered 25 milligrams of propofol, far less than what was found in Jackson's body by the coroner.
How did it get in him?
Well, that's a good question. Ted, do you have any idea how it got in him?
The defense is expected to argue that Jackson somehow gave himself the lethal dose.
Could Michael Jackson have done it?
Is it possible for an individual to inject himself with a drug? Yes. Yes.
Before Jackson died, he spent hours struggling to go to sleep, according to a timeline Murray gave police. Murray says he gave Jackson 5 doses of 3 different drugs between 1:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. At 10:40 a.m., he says he gave Jackson the propofol.
Did anybody witness what happened?
No, just the doctor, sir.
911 was called at 12:21. Emergency responders will testify they believe Jackson was dead when they arrived. Another question jurors must answer is, was using propofol, an anesthetic for surgery, as a sleep aid so reckless that Murray should be held responsible for Jackson's death?
Doctor after doctor gets up and says, well, this should never be used outside a clinical setting, outside of a hospital or a clinic.
The fact that the circumstances may be unusual, may be demonstrated to be unusual, does not make it egregious. That alone does not make it egregious.
Murray's defense will argue Jackson was a drug addict and in horrible physical shape, and that he was getting drugs from other doctors that Murray didn't know about. Prosecutors plan to argue that Jackson was in good shape and plan to show this clip from the documentary This Is It of Jackson rehearsing just days before he died.
It's okay, it's okay.
So now, more than 2 years after Jackson's death, a Los Angeles jury will be presented with the case and ultimately decide whether or not Dr. Conrad Murray should be held responsible. Ted Rollins, CNN, Los Angeles.